This is day 14. So yesterday I played one tournament, which was the Solo Cash Cup, which we're going to talk about later, and I played 5 solo manuscripts. First idea I'm having is I'm potentially considering playing Central, also like only Central tournaments over West, because there's a high likelihood that I'm going to be moving to Central servers, not for the servers, but just because I'm going to move there most likely. So getting a head start on the PR and just like, I don't want to be 500 PR when I go over there. It would be better if I have like 5K over 500, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to really care about the West PR, but I don't really think it matters that much. Like PR is just a number at the end of the day, and it doesn't mean that you made any money. I think what's more important is just placements in general. So, but the PR does help to get like teammates and shit. The second reason is that Central is much better competition than West. It's probably 3 times more competitive than West, so I will have worse placements at first, but it will help me in the long run, in my opinion, if I play Central. And the ping difference is not that much. I get maybe 40, 35 to 45 ping on Central, and I get like 25 to 30 ping on West. It's not that much different, and I don't key, so my ping doesn't really matter. Also, I'm going to be able to play with Cryptic for all the tournaments. Like, I do want to play with Cryptic for at least the first season of the new chapter. And if I start out Div 5 on Central, I might literally just play all the way to get Div 1. Or play all the way to Div 2, then play with Cryptic to get out Div 1. Or get to Div 1. And also, all the tournaments will start at the same time for me. So the Solo Cash Cup, because I played West for solos, it would start at 6. But for Central tournaments, they all start at 4 for Eval, Reload Cup, Duo Cup, Squad Cup. All of them start at 4. So it would create more consistency for my tournament time. And it's just an idea I have. I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. Obviously, with the new chapter coming up, we'll see what the division format looks like. But it's just an idea that I have. The second thing, this is something I'm going to be implementing. Well, I already am. Is that I switched my reflection back to the morning. So I tried nighttime because theoretically on paper I thought it would be better, and I do think on paper it sounds better because, like I said back then, you want to do your highest leverage task first thing in the morning. So that for me would be to get up probably at noon and then literally just start playing scrims. The problem was when I did reflection at night, I genuinely despised it and I would procrastinate a lot. Like, that's when I had my worst moments, and I would stay up until 4 a.m. because I didn't want to do reflection. And when I do it in the morning, I don't look forward to it, but I feel much better with doing reflections in the morning. And the second reason is I can come up with much better ideas. I notice this is when I go at night, like sometimes I'm just drooling. I'm just watching and I'm not really thinking. And I don't try to come up with a solution. I kind of just say, yeah, I don't know, whatever, you know? And then another reason is that I have a lot of time before scrims start in the morning because my new sleep schedule, I should have wrote it on here, but it's going to be 1:30 to 9. It's something I'm trying right now. I want to not sleep for too long, obviously, and have enough time in my day, but not to the point where I'm dead, right? So if I'm waking up at, what did I say, 9? Yeah, if I wake up at 9, scrims start at 1. There's a lot of time there, and concerning the two first points that I brought up, this is another argument for why I should do reflection in the morning. And the last thing is that this might seem like cope, but I'm not going to force myself to play 12 hours a day. So it really is miserable when knowing, like, I wake up knowing that I literally have to play the game as soon as I wake up till I go to sleep. It's just miserable, man. And like, it really, really sucks when I know that has to, like, when that's the truth. Because I don't want to play the game 12 hours a day, especially there's a lot of things that I just don't think are worth it. Like, once scrims are done, I don't want to go play reload or go play 1v1s or go play ranked or play creative, whatever. I don't want to do that. I just want to do other stuff. Like, I want to, before scrims, I want to go to the gym and I want to do reflection and I want to do other things. And yes, it may be better because you still get ROI from doing creative, or you still get better at the game. But for me, I just don't think it's worth it for the long haul. If we want to, like, the best way for me to stay consistent is to not like burn out, and I don't want to do things that aren't helping me, like not on the biggest things that are going to help me become the best. And I just don't see the point. Like if I was a fragger, yeah, maybe I just play creative all day so I can get better, but I'm not a fragger. I'm literally the opposite of that. Like the complete opposite. So I really don't care about fighting. All I care about is just not dying. And basically my plan is that, so the highest leverage task that I've identified is number one, tournaments, obviously. Number two, vital scrims. Number three, manu scrims. And then number four is VOD reviewing. If I do those four things, and VOD reviewing is like not every day. It's okay, there's not a lot of scrims today for whatever reason, so we're just gonna VOD instead of the scrims. We're not gonna do 5 hours of VOD reviewing just a VOD review, just so we can say we're doing work. Because why would you put yourself through that pain when it's not really netting any results, you know? So I'm just gonna play scrims and then get off. And maybe I'm gonna change my mind and look back at this and say you're fucking stupid and you should have played. But this is how I feel right now, and I'm just putting it out there and see if I'm gonna change my mind or not. And yesterday I did really bad in the solo cash cup. I got 1,207th place, and on Centro that's probably top 5,000 or something. Really bad, and I felt really shitty about yesterday's like day's performance in general. But the thing is, I did everything I needed to do. I missed one scrim because I woke up late, which wasn't a discipline thing. It was simply just my sleep schedule was messed up because I keep messing with it, right, and changing it. So that's not it. So I did basically everything I could. I played the scrims, then I played the tournament, and then I got off. And I was like, wow, I had a really bad day. But no, I simply just performed bad in the tournament. If I did good in the tournament, I probably would have been listening to Pop Smoke and fucking dancing in my bedroom. You know what I'm saying? So the mistake I make this game is that I ended up getting conned on my loot route because this guy swerved from Slurpee, and I had a huge HP advantage, but I didn't capitalize on it, and then he ended up killing me. So here, I hit him 40 white, so I know he's 60 HP. All I have to do is jump in and I win this 100% of the time, right? Let's see how I approach the fight. So I saw him zipline up, and I know he's going to go for counters, so I did a really good job of not taking damage here. And then he made a really bad play to go for a counter shot. He ends up taking more fall damage. Here, all I have to do is jump on his cone, place a floor, and just phase in his box, and I would win. My thought process was, there's no way he has any mats. I'm just going to spray out his mats. But the thing is, he landed on a huge... So, like, on the loot path, there's, like, a lot of rocks. So he ended up farming all of them. And he had a lot of mats, more than I thought. So I let him get this mini off. And then I let him get like another mini off too. And now, like, my HP advantage is not really like there. I'm letting him heal. I'm just taking too long, you know? I'm not being aggressive enough. And this was a mistake. I wouldn't have keyed if I didn't get the opening damage, but because I got the damage, I should have just jumped in and ended the fight instantly. Alright, so this game is really tragic. I've already gotten most of the placement points. I've gotten 38 points already from this game. But I make a huge mistake if you just look at my mats. So 7th zone, I have 2 fish, 150 mats, not 149, 150. I'm cap on everything, right? And I end up making like such a big mistake and being careless, and I end up dying. So what happens is, basically my thought process is I'm going to use a fish on this zone, and I wanted to like inch forward as much as possible so that I could use my fish to its like best ability so I can go as far as possible, right? So I knew like a lot of these were my builds, so I ended up like just kind of walking through here. But this wasn't my wall, right? It was this guy's wall. And I was just so careless about smacking on this wall. Like, what if there's a guy in there? And most of the time there isn't, but this time there was. I wasn't being careful enough here, and I paid the price. Because he just hit me under, and then he took the floor, and then I was dead. Just like that, my game ended when I was cap. So that was really bad. The lesson to learn there for sure is I wasn't being safe enough. Like that's literally it. Like I'm just not being careful enough of I didn't even think like there could be a guy in there. I just started smacking, you know? And that was a mistake. It would have been fine if I sprayed it from a distance and checked if there's a guy in there. No one in there? Okay, we're good. We can take the wall. But I just kind of stood there and just smacked on the wall, you know? No, just being too careless. Alright, this game, I end up selling again. Once again, I've gotten good placement points, 40 points, but just like last game, it could be easily a top 2. And this game, I had Baka in my game. He had like 15 kills. So I definitely could have got second place easily. And the mistake I make, I have 100 bills in first moving, which is really good. And I see this guy on my wall, and I end up going for this kill here. So I whiff. I kill him, right? And this guy hits me. Okay, that's fine. Let's just get out. Fuck the mats, right? But what I end up doing is like I'm holding the wall and like I'm just greeting the mats. I mess up the cone edit. And then I just bought it out, honestly. Like I greeted the mats, I messed up the cone edit. I was holding my wall instead of getting out instantly. I don't know what I was doing. I didn't need the mats. And clearly this guy got like second place because he got this refresh. But I didn't need the refresh in order to do good in the game. You know what I'm saying? Such an easy mistake that I could have fixed. And I would have easily got top 2. In this game, I ended up getting like 30 somethingth. And it honestly stemmed from something way earlier in the game. So as you can see, 144 mats, good heals. No fish, but we're in a really good spot. We're basically center zone. We're right here. And we're in a good spot, you know, for wherever the zone pulls. And I do some good things. First, I know there's a guy in this house, and I heard the victory crown sound, so I knew he was still there. You can hear right there. I go insta, and my goal is to make it near Slurpee, right? So I go insta. But the problem is here, if we go back to my box, right? And we just look through this cone, we have full vision on everything, like here. So anything that pulls over here, I would have full vision on. But I don't have vision on anything over on my right, and nothing down here. So what I should have done is first run to this cliff over here, and then pause, and then assess how I should rotate. But instead, what I do is I just blindly go down here, thinking there's no one boxed up here, and there ended up being someone boxed up there, and then I was like stuck, like I didn't know where to go. But if we watch this guy, he literally gets the freest rotate of all time because there's no one over here. Like, look, he doesn't have to do anything. But me, I couldn't move from my position, so he's just gonna keep running. He just goes deep, and he's chilling. And if we go back to where I am, I'm in the worst spot possible. I'm like stuck with everybody else in this shitty ass spot, and I can't move, all because of one decision. All because I didn't check to see like the rotate. I should have just paused first and looked, because I couldn't see, right? I didn't have vision, so I needed to pause, and then I would have been able to go right and go deep. It's crazy. One decision literally ends your game. The mistake I made this game is 2 random people ended up landing on my loot path, and I saw they did that. And after what happened in the first game, there was no way I was going to take any risk of dying off spawn. So I ended up not going to fight them. And instead, I went to Slurpee. But the problem was I didn't crouch walk into the buildings. And as soon as I saw a footstep, I just ran away. And what this ended up doing was that I had to play Storm later on to fix my loot. And there wasn't much loot left over at that stage in the game. And the right decision was, if I would have just went to this building, this big building, I should have just crouched up and then just sat in there and started looting instead of like running around Slurpee and just like running away. The mistake I made in this game is I got a kill while spawning on a kid on my loot path, and then I did the right thing. I crouch walked into Slurpee and I got pretty good loot, right? Of course it can be better. Ideally I drop medkits for another heal like bigs or splashes or burgers, but the loot is serviceable. And if I'm going to loot this building, what I should have done is crouch walked. So here I decided to not crouch walk because I thought maybe it'd be better to show my footsteps so people wouldn't come towards me. But now that I think about it, there are some like retarded people in this game, like this guy, who don't understand how to play the game and they're retarded. So you gotta always crouch walk because you don't know who you're gonna be up against. Some people, when they see your footsteps, are like, okay, I know to back off. I'm not gonna go near you. But some people are just like, all right, I'm just kill you because I'm fucking bored and I got nothing else to do, like this guy. And my game was lagging, so like there's no way I could fight. I was at 5 FPS, so what I should have done is just crouch walk no matter what. Whenever I'm in a POI, I always crouch walk. In this game, the mistake I make is that I die with cap loot because I don't play cautious enough, and it's just another example of like me making a silly mistake. So here, I end up popping my med kit, and look, my walls aren't fully built, like they're not replaced, and it seems like a silly mistake, or it doesn't really matter until you have a pro that does this and just lurks into your box. Like, this is the type of shit that gets me killed in solos. It's like careless mistakes like this and not being cautious enough, and I die with 143 builds.